Welcome to the Rule Your Money Show. I am your host, Dakota Grady. Hey y'all, it is fall and leaves are changing. The year's almost over. So, what you gonna do about your credit card debt? Ooh, that's right. What are you gonna do about your credit card debt? Tonight we're talking about the credit card crisis here in America. And I wanted to have my friends on tonight, Miss Theresa and Johnny Bartelle. They have the Money Talk podcast. I was on that show about a month ago. Someone invited to my show tonight. Talk about the car crisis. So, hey y'all, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dakota.
We are so excited to be here. Thank you so much for inviting us.
Yes.
Yes, man, you're welcome. So, tell everybody about who you are and what y'all do.
So, I'm Johnny, and it's my wife, Theresa. And we actually my wife has a Bartelle's financial coaching practice that she works on and works through and help clients get control of their money and try to help them budget and set financial priorities. And we also have a YouTube channel and a podcast called Bartelle's Money Talk, where we talking about budgeting, all sorts of things, budgeting, how to manage your money, just try to help people just to try to get on the right course with their money.
All right. Anything you want to say, Miss Theresa? Chime in.
The only other thing I would like to add is we also were blessed to get an app. It's called Brain Dump that we're currently in the process of working on. So hopefully within a month or so, we'll have the Brain Dump and we will have an app that we'll be leaving like 3 to 4 tips like 3 times a week, trying to help people win with their money.
Awesome. So let me dive into the stat right quick. According to the Federal Reserve, it says that credit card debt is a whopping, $1.14 trillion. I said again, not an M, not a B, but a T, trillion. So why is credit card debt so high in America? Talk about that, y'all. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, you want to go first?
You go ahead.
Well, first of all, I think credit card debt is so high is because we're not satisfied with what we have. And so instead of trying to do better, to make more money, if you feel like that's what you need, it's so easy for us to grab a credit card to build the gap in between our finances. And so once you grab that credit card and start using it, it's almost like you really lose your mind. You just continue to charge and charge and charge. But what I would recommend is instead of charging, figure out what you can do with your budget so that you can have that money to buy what you want without using the credit card. And they are in our face all the time. Credit cards on the commercial. Even if you go to the store, Dakota, do you want to get this credit card so you can get 30% off? And a lot of people really fall for that trap.
So, what's your experience using credit cards? Have y'all used credit cards? If so, how did y'all stop using them, and what was the motivation behind that?
Ooh. Did we use credit cards? Okay, I'll let you tell that part.
Well, I always think that you got to have experience about something if you're going to talk about it, right? So we have experience with using credit cards. So I'll give you a prime example. And this is kind of an embarrassing story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. So one day, my wife and I, we decided we wanted to go look at a vehicle, right? And I think we was living in Jersey at the time. And we wanted to look at a vehicle. And so we went to the car lot, exploring. I don't even think we were planning on buying a vehicle that day. So once we got to the lot, we seen this nice vehicle, SUV type we really love. It's like, oh, this looks nice. So we just inquired about it. And next thing you know, one thing led to another. And, and we said, well, hey, let's get it. I think we could put the down payment on the credit card. So the guy who was dealing with kind of told us, hey, well, why don't y'all just go and, think about it, eat some lunch, think about it, and then if you still want it, come back. So he was trying to give us a way out, right? But we was young.
Black and dumb, too.
Yeah, add all that to it as well. We didn't know because we didn't have that financial education growing up like we should have. So instead of us running away like we should have, we ate lunch and came back. and put it on the credit card.
Right. And see, we were so young, Dakota, we didn't know that he gave us a way of escape.
Yes.
If we had not gone back, we would have been good. Dakota, we put $5,000 on a credit card.
Yes.
To put down on a car. And then when we traded in a car, it was upside down.
Yes.
So we have experience with credit cards.
Yes, we have. Yes. That's a personal story.
Yeah.
One of ours.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how did y'all stop using credit cards? Or do y'all still use them?
Okay, so the main way we stopped using credit cards because I am the budget person in the family.
Mm-hmm.
He's military, so he was going a lot. So it was my job to make sure the money was running right. And just one day, I get that little voice was like, "We need to get out of debt." And Dakota, our credit card just kept going up and kept going up. And the things we wanted, we just got out the credit card. And when I was just doing the budget, I'm like, I just realized that we were paying like the minimum payments, right? But it was not moving the balance at all. And one day, I have to tell this story. I went into a Christian bookstore and I found Financial Peace by Dave Ramsey. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I just got to give you props. And I read that book probably in 2 or 3 days. And I realized how bad credit card debt was. And Dakota, let me tell you, it took us a while to get out.
Yes.
But if you want to get out of credit card debt, you can't continue to use it. You have to stop using it. That's the only way you're going to get out.
Yes.
So it was painful. But we got out. It took a while.
It took a while, but we got out.
Yes.
I'm proud of y'all because most people, especially in our culture, I mean, black folks, it is. We love debt.
We can talk about us.
Yeah.
We love debt. I mean, it's like, we don't know anything but build your credit. Build your credit.
Build your
credit.
credit.
People say, "Oh, my money tied up." But like you said, you were paying the payments on it, and you were only paying what? Interest.
That's it. Interest.
No principal.
Right. No principal at all. And what I can tell you, Dakota, too, and I'll just speak for me and my husband, we were trying to make a statement. We were trying to make people think we had it going on. Like when we would go home to visit.
Live like the Joneses.
Right. We would go home to visit because he was in the military. Mm-hmm. And so when we went back home to visit, we always felt that we need to make people thought we had it going on. Child, we was broken into broke. And so, go to the store, get me a leather coat. He got him a leather coat.
Yeah.
And so they automatically assumed we had money. And so we used the credit card trying to impress them when Dakota, they really didn't care.
Right.
We were the one who had to pay the price for it.
Absolutely. The leather smelled good, but we had no money to go with the smell.
Right. We didn't have the money to go with it. So I just want to encourage your listeners, if they can do without that credit card debt, I'm like, run. It ruins your finances and your future.
Yes.
So, Theresa, how'd you get Johnny on board?
You know what? For some reason, he trusted me.
Mm-hmm.
How did I get you on board? I guess I just...
Well, because, I never was a big spender.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we talked about it and kind of laid out a plan to try to get out the debt, we was like, you know what? And I don't know if it just the light bulb came on with both of us. It's like, this is going to impact our future, right? So we got to get this credit card debt eliminated so it can open up other doors of opportunity. Because other than that, we'd have still been on the struggle bus trying to pay off the credit card debt, and we wasn't moving nowhere. So this had to be an intentional effort to get it paid off. Because you have no intention behind it, it won't happen.
So how long have y'all been married?
32 years.
Mm-hmm.
32 years.
Kudos to y'all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Money is one thing that causes people to get divorced, because it's like one may be the spender and the saver. In my marriage, I'm the saver, my wife's the spender, but we work together too because we know that it's important. I mean, happy wife, happy life.
Which I bet you've been married long enough to know that ain't true.
So, no, but I mean, working together is important. And I don't think people realize that. I think if people work together, men and women who are married, they work together with their money, they go faster. They go further
Yes.
faster. Is that fair to say?
Yes. It is.
You try to run a race, one spouse is going this way, the other one going that way, you're not going to win the race, right?
You won't win the race. And then, Dakota, I just got to use a little bit of Bible on that, because the Word of God says a house that's divided, it's going to fall. And two is better than one. So when you get married, you are supposed to become one and be on the same team. But if I'm going to the east and you're going to the west, we're not going to ever end up at our right destination.
Mm-hmm.
And see, we want to have a good retirement.
Yeah.
And we want to have a good retirement.
It's about a good retirement and building generational wealth and leaving a legacy. That's the three things, right?
Yes, sir. And, I mean, in our culture, we don't leave those things. We leave debt or nothing at all, and that's not good.
It's not. And you know what I want to say about credit card, Dakota? Like, when I think about credit card debt, when I think about us, you know, just imagine yourself being in a hole, right? In a real hole in the ground. And you trying to dig yourself out. But somebody is constantly on top of the ground throwing dirt on top of you.
Oh.
And that's exactly how credit card debt feels. If you don't make large extra payments on it and stop using it, you will not get out of credit card debt. I don't know how they designed it to be this way, but credit card debt, that thing is a big demon.
So
you mentioned earlier the image. You know us, we gotta have flashy cars, clothes, jewelry,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
gadgets, and we go with a joke, right?
Mm-hmm.
Change your mindset about that though.
Well, let me and please add to this one. But one of the things I think that changed our mindset was when we discovered that we were not impacting anything just paying a minimum payment on a credit card. I think that kind of shift our thinking, like, hold up, if we only paying a minimum payment and it's not doing anything, then that means we could wind up being in credit card debt all of our life if we don't kind of intentionally get this thing paid off. So I think because we had to put some intention behind it, then I think that shifted our mindset to say, okay, we need to get this paid off as quick as we can, so we can also start exploring other things that we could do. Because one of the things I can tell you, Dakota, with this, if my wife didn't look at it, because like she said, she was over the finances and stuff. If she didn't look at that, and then if we didn't come together and agree to go forward, then I don't know if we'd be sitting in the house we're sitting in today. Because even though it happened when we were younger, that would have impacted a lot of our things going through our marriage, where we wouldn't have probably been sitting where we are today. Just from that one decision that we were doing.
So, last question for y'all. If y'all could do something different, this is for the audience, what would be different when it comes to credit card debt? Because again, $1.14 trillion, people's futures are being destroyed. They don't even realize it, because the mindset is, I gotta pretend I'm looking good, or I got it going on, like you mentioned earlier, and I want to spend now. Like, what can you give at the end of this show right quick? Any thoughts?
Well, you want me to answer that? Because we got married when we were very young. We were both 22 years old, never really had lived away from home. And so for me, because I was, what you call me, the chief financial officer, what I would have done differently, looking back now, we would have had only one major credit card, and that would be to rent cars, or book airline tickets. If we did not have the money set aside, then we would not use that credit card. And then back in the day, they would give you $10,000, $15,000 on a credit card. And guess what we did? We took it. But see, now I have the knowledge to know you don't have to accept that. If they approve you for a $10,000 credit card, you can say, well, no, I only want $3,000. that can give you control of how you manage your credit card debt. So I would only have one. If I didn't have the money in the bank, we would not use it. And I would not use it for no emergency. I would learn and focus on having an emergency fund so that we did not have to use a credit card for our emergency.
That's good. Well, Johnny, anything want to add to that when we close?
Well, I think my wife, she kind of summed it up. And I know another thing is people like to use the credit card for points, right? Because they have the point system out there. If you use the credit card, you get these points. And I'm like my wife, if you use it, you need to make sure you pay it off that same month. Don't let it go over to the following month because you're trying to get points, but you don't have the money to pay it off. Because you put yourself in another hole. You're getting points, but you owing money on your credit card. So that's what I would add to that.
Gotcha. Thank y'all for joining me for the show. How can people find out about y'all online? Your YouTube channel, podcast, and anything else you got going on?
Dakota, please forgive me, and I hope you'll invite us again. Can I just add one more nugget to our talk? I promise I'll go fast.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we talked about mindset shift because I want to help your listeners. And a lot of us don't know if nobody don't say anything. And so I am a complete bookworm. I love to read books about finances. And when you talk about mindset shift, I read The Millionaire Next Door. And that's when I learned that those people who driving them nice, fancy cars, they the ones who broke. The ones who wearing the Rolexes, but they got a regular job like me, they are the ones that's broke. So then once I realized that we didn't have to have all of that to make it look like we're rich, our mindset shifts. Because if you're wearing it, that's not an asset.
Nope.
So our mindset had to change. Like right now, I drive a 2007 Honda Odyssey van. It leaking all that crazy. Guess what? I don't have no van payment. So that's all I want to add. So Millionaire Next Door, if someone got a problem with their mindset and they think they got to look good in order to have wealth, they better read that book because they're going to be a broke one on the street.
So how can people find out about y'all online, social media, website, YouTube channel?
Okay, so they can find us on YouTube at Bartelle's Money Talk. Our podcast is also Bartelle's Money Talk. And I am launching Bartelle's Financial Coaching. I will be going live on November the 21st. And you can find me at bartellscoaching.com. We have programs and offerings that we're trying to help people get out of debt, and we're trying to empower people in their marriages.
Thank y'all for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you, Dakota, for having us, and I hope we get to come back again.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. And this is the Rule Your Money Show. Thank y'all for joining us.